When the punk rock band Wolfpack released their album Sleepify on Spotify, people were really confused because it was just an album of silence. By releasing this album of silence, however, Wolfpack did gain $20,000 in royalties, which they used to fund a admission-free concert tour. Wolfpack understood that sometimes taking no action, but rather trying to take advantage of opportunities, is what allows them to actually voice their opinions and perform in their platform, something that we as performers understand clearly. And this is reflected in today's quotation from John Andrew Holmes. Speech is conveniently located midway between thought and action, where it often substitutes for both. Holmes explains the process that happens between us forming an opinion and vocalizing it before then acting on this opinion, encouraging people that sometimes speech may not be the only action we should take. And what we can take from this quotation is that we must take tangible actions. And we can agree, because by taking tangible actions, we can force ourselves to solidify opinions as well as ensuring progress. First, when we take a tangible action, we force ourselves to solidify our own opinions before we can then take the action that reflects those opinions. And we can further see this reflected through Irish Dement and Asher Lev. But first, Irish Dement is a country folk singer who was popular in the early 2000s, but she had a very strong opinion about wars in the Middle East, and she didn't think that the United States should be getting involved. So on the day that the United States invaded Iraq, she decided that she was going to cancel the tour she had scheduled, not refunding any of the tickets. Rather, while this may have angered some of her fans, it also solidified her opinion and her stance against the wars, not only allowing her to solidify her opinion, but then take a direct action as a result. But second, in the story of Asher Lev, a novel about a young Jewish Orthodox boy, Asher Lev has an extreme talent for art. But because he's an Orthodox Jew, he is not allowed to express this talent within his religious community. Asher Lev has to find a way to take tangible actions that will show his community what his opinions are. But he cannot do that without first solidifying his opinion that art and religion can go hand in hand, which he does by finding a way to express his religious beliefs through his art. When the Orthodox Jews in his community see his art depicting different images from the Bible, they find that it is not actually offensive, allowing him to both take a direct action that changed the mind of his community, as well as solidifying his own opinions about his artistic talent. So through the examples of Irish Dement and Asher Lev, we must take tangible actions in order to solidify our opinions. But second, when we solidify our opinions and take tangible actions as a result, it can then ensure social change and progress, which we can further understand through Jack Nicholson and Pepsi. But first, Jack Nicholson was of the opinion that he wasn't getting paid enough for any of his acting roles. So when the time came for him to accept or deny the role of the Joker in Batman, rather than allowing it for a set salary to be in place, he demanded that the film pay him a percentage of the profit that they gained, making him the highest grossing actor for a single role. Jack Nicholson showed that because he had the opinion that actors weren't being paid enough in Hollywood, that he could force change. It was him determining that he had the ability to request this that then launched the movement where women actors in Hollywood, spearheaded by Jennifer Lawrence, have begun pointing out the glass ceiling within Hollywood movies. Jack Nicholson shows us that because he took a tangible action in demanding that he be paid more, he began a social change. But second, Pepsi Cola was infuriated when they discovered that shaman in Mexico were using Coca-Cola in their religious rituals. So rather than just accepting the fact that they would be losing part of the market share, they decided to institute some change by taking action and campaigning in Mexico that Pepsi products were better than Coke when it comes to religious rituals, even paying off some of the shaman that they were allowing to use Pepsi. Because they took a tangible action, they began a change within Mexico's religious systems, where there is a rivalry between those who use Coke and those who use Pepsi. So through Jack Nicholson and Pepsi, when we take tangible action, we can ensure change. But returning to today's quotation from John Andrew Holmes, speech is conveniently located midway between thought and action, where it often substitutes for both. We understood that we must take tangible action to force ourselves to solidify opinions and ensure progress. While we may not want to pay for an album of pure silence, Wolfpack sure received the profits.